children of the night. What music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Oh, it's Tuesday night. I am feeling all right because this is a spring break edition of Final Guys. What do I mean by spring break? It's spring, and we're about to take our first break in 6 years because it's tonight, and then we'll be back in the summer. This is sad. It's tragic. Maybe overdue. Maybe
awesome.
We want you guys to miss us and love us a little more. Yeah, Jason, this could be the last episode. We don't know.
I've been waiting for an excuse to just get away from you sons of bitches.
Right. So now you travel all the way to Europe to film your last comedy, and
Yes.
Your head might be too big.
He's going to end up in a hostel.
He's very
Run by a guy who looks like Chad right now. It's hair in front of his face.
I have bed for you. Come right here. By the way, this is also our 6-year anniversary episode.
That's
we have
insane.
been doing this for 6 freaking years.
Congratulations. Honored to be a very small part of it.
Well, we have nothing else going on in our lives, so we're going to keep doing it forever, right? No?
I mean, at this point, why not?
I'm celebrating with the Death's Head Moth bourbon.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
What do you
I'm
got,
drinking
Jason?
one of my wife's OJ beers. It's a double
you
IPA.
love those fruity
If
beers.
it doesn't fit, you must have quit.
I'm celebrating with Benadryl later. What about you, Chad?
I guess right here, this ridiculous thing that I'm a slave to. For now, anyway.
I vape on this show. Years. So anyway, tonight our main feature is going to be the brand new, the year 2007, 30 Days Night. Why are we doing this? Because everything sucks. Everything new sucks. So
Yeah.
2 throwback episodes in the last month.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row, we have struggled to find anything that looks interesting.
Yep.
It's wild.
I tuned into some shows and just like DNF'd them. I'm like, nah, that's okay. So, but we're going back to Vampireville. Jack is very happy.
Yay!
Can you see his hard nips?
This is gonna be great.
Wow.
Little flounder for you.
Jesus.
Rest in peace, Flounder. I'll do
Social.
the zit later. So, as always, we have drinking words provided by Sheridan Bradford.
Good job remembering. I never do. All right. Our words are Jack, yours are comic, Josh, and snow. Hunter, yours are Alaska, plow, and burn.
Wow.
Latsky, yours are Huston?
Houston.
Houston?
Like Danny
Houston?
Houston.
Okay. Blizzard and inject. And the bonus words are vampire, Marlowe, and night.
Ooh, good knocked. I forgot to ask, does anyone have anything special they want to announce before, we're gone for a month and change?
Oh, that's right. Before we're gone for a month.
Yeah.
What date are we coming back on?
Whenever Jason recovers.
I don't know, because if we take June off, when's the 4th of July? That's not like on a Tuesday, is it?
It is. On
It is.
Tuesday, the 4th of July would be the day we come back.
We're probably aiming at the week
Okay.
after the 4th of July.
All right.
Wow. All right. That's
7-Eleven.
that's a long break.
But you know what? We didn't take breaks for 6 years. So I think it's all right. We've all earned it. Jason, you've earned it. You've been on every friggin' show. You need
I
it.
have not missed one. That's true.
Plus, we'll probably do a couple of Monster Men and be just like, what are we doing?
By the way, if you guys miss us talking about horror, you could come up here and hang out with me in the attic. We'll just drill some beers and talk shit. So
I will have a book out before we hang out again, before the next Funnel Guys. So I guess I should mention that.
Yeah.
May 30th, a week from today. It's up for pre-order. It's called How the Skin Sheds. It's my attempt at writing a Western, a splatter Western, as the kids call it. Yeah, it's good. I'm proud of it. Like I said, pre-order right now or wait until next Tuesday. How the Skin Sheds.
It's got a killer cover.
By Justin Coons. Gorgeous cover, yeah.
The good thing is, like, if Chad or I write a Western, we're writing from true experience. Like, we were there during the gold rush.
This is true.
Doc Holliday used to shave our beards. So it was a whole thing back in the day.
Beautiful. I interviewed Uwe Boll last week. It's not online yet, but it'll be on my channel, Jason Brandt, on, I want to say, the 6th of June. I'm going to post that. So if you want to see an interesting side of Uwe Boll, we talked for about an hour and a half. Well, we actually talked for longer than that, but the interview would be about an hour and a half, and I think you'll be surprised at the man. I was. I expected, kind of the raving lunatic persona he has. Right. And he was very nice and very funny, too.
Oh, awesome.
And willing to shit on Hollywood a lot, which made me laugh.
Even better.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, Colin has mentioned in the chat that splatter sounds mop-worthy.
Is he saying I should write a splatter Western?
There is some breasts in there in the book. So
there must be.
What's the breast count? 6 naked breasts.
57.
It's hard to say because, when you got a guy running around ripping nipples off from women, then wow, I don't know how many he's collected.
Are you sure this is your book?
Nipple Ripper?
Yeah. It's a splatter Western.
Ripper. Okay. Nice. Now I want to read it.
It's essentially Leonard going after Ed.
They have guys selling Velcro nipples to help defend against the guy.
Get your fakesies. All right. Enough of this nonsense.
Chad's back. I thought he froze on a funny face. I was like, damn, that's going to be good. I'll just leave that there.
Now I was frozen on a contented face.
And not like contemplative.
I was wondering why he still does this show.
People, let me tell you about my best friend.
My next book is going to be about a mouse.
I have 6 children's books coming out by the next time we talk.
He might. I'm impressed by this prodigious output.
This output is very high.
All right. Let's get on. This better be the best damn news you've done all year. Jack Campisi's award-winning news.
It's the news. Yay.
Well, Hunter Shea, you fancy yourself as the drive-in guy.
I do.
Oh, look at me. I'm the drive-in guy. I used to be the cryptid guy, but now I'm the drive-in guy.
I have a drive-in speaker back here, man. I'll hit you in the head with it. It's solid.
I will yell into that.
Can I get a burger fries?
Joe Bob's annual World Drive-In Jamboree has been announced. It's going to be in Las Vegas this year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which will be freaking crazy.
But he just announced it, and it's this year?
It's October 6th through the 8th in West Wind, Las Vegas. The West Wind Las Vegas Drive-In. And tickets are already on sale, so go to wherever Joe Bob would sell these things. And now, he's done this before at Hunter Shea's favorite Mahoning. Yeah. And the Malco Summon Drive-In in Memphis once. Oh, that's probably a pretty cool place.
I wonder if that drive-in in Vegas is open in summer, like where you fry like an ant under a magnifying glass. Even in the moonlight.
But it's a dry heat.
Yeah, please. I would love to go to that. Love to.
I would too, man. We should consider doing a meetup there or something. That'd be amazing.
Darcy is the executive director.
Oh.
Can you imagine what a state she'll be in?
They're also going to have on the Sunday, we actually should go to this because Sunday is the Sleepaway Camp 40th birthday party with you-know-who.
Our favorite girl?
Felissa.
Man.
So, I mean, that alone would be worth it.
Yeah. And it's Vegas. I mean,
it's Vegas. You could always get a cheap place to stay.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's gonna the hardest thing would be getting the tickets to the thing.
Yeah, I remember the first one sold out immediately. So I don't know. That'd be
The
cool.
one at the Mahoning was insane. I know somebody who went there and got so freaked out he left because it was like
'Cause-
COVID time. He was like,
Oh,
doing crowds are like too crazy.
Oh man, COVID was like drive-in. They set up a pop-up drive-in a few towns over for me during COVID. I saw Guardians of the Galaxy and Caddyshack. That's
Dude,
awesome.
that's 2020. I just drove to different drive-ins all around the Northeast. Just great vacation. I
nice.
didn't have to touch people. So
Now,
that's good.
our-
Good news, Jack. Good start.
Our second piece of news is especially for Jason, because you seem like a big Gremlins guy to me.
Sure.
I think he's more munchies.
I like the first Gremlins a lot. I think it's a great movie. I hate the second Gremlins.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
coming to Max, which you may think of as HBO Max, but it's becoming Max now.
It switched today on my Roku.
Because
have
there's
to
there's no power in the name HBO, which
Yeah.
is fucking Max.
But so now it has like a new image and it just says Max. But now I can't just go in. I have to go in and sign in and do all kinds of other stuff. I'm like, why do I have to like take out my time because of your stupid rebranding?
I
Just
got
put
into
your new little thing
HBO
up.
the other day. Okay, I'll have to try it when we get off.
Yeah, it just happened today.
Well, if you log in there, you're going to find a new Gremlins. How are they? Prequel series called Gremlins Secrets of the Mogwai, which this is really why it's for you. It's a prequel. We're going to learn how 10-year-old Sam Wing met the young Mogwai called Gizmo.
God.
I know this is probably what you're going to do right when we finish up tonight.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in these meetings. I'd love to just sit in there and just have veto power and just fire whoever recommended that idea. Just on the spot. You're fucking fired. You're stupid.
I would
No,
rather
they're all
pull
of
my
us.
pubic hair out than watch this.
They're going through like what properties, what IP do we own? Ooh, Gremlins.
It's a little concerning because HBO, as far as their series, everything that they touched was just, I mean, freaking every series was awesome. Now it starts to feel, and then they're taking the name of the inferior rival that they had through the 80s and 90s, Cinemax. It doesn't make any sense. And
It's
now
weird.
this, yeah.
Maybe they're bringing back Skinemax movies, and finally I'll get some money worth out of my.
Well, then they should have like an HBO After Dark or something.
They should have Shannon Tweed as the executive director.
Yeah, I've been waiting for The Hills Have Eyes 3 for years.
The Hills Have Thighs.
Thighs. Thighs. By the way, there's a Dark Crystal prequel. Michael
Oh, cool.
Toten just said it in the chat. Wow.
How hard is it? I mean, look, I feel like we've learned to just do the requel. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't piss everyone off as much. You get new actors in. You can kind of start like why?
They don't like mystery. You got to fill in every backstory.
I want to know more about the Mohawk Gremlin.
Yeah,
What's his
maybe he'll
story?
get a spin-off. Well, that's
I
like
wanna-
what they're doing with all the puppet.
I want a
Master
Joker-like movie with him. What was he like before? And him bopping down the stairs in the Bronx.
guy. Wow, good job, Max. Dopes.
My God.
More on the front of the what do you call it? Public domain properties because of Winnie the Pooh and the Mean One Grinch thing. Coming this October is Cinderella's Curse. So
Is it when she gets her period? It could be a coming of age story. That might be interesting. Could you imagine that's like the great fake out? Like they show these horror scenes, but it's just nightmares that she's having because she's had her first blossoming into
So
womanhood.
that's like Cinderella meets Carrie.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, Toten says The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance had one season on Netflix in 2019. Really?
I remember that.
Age of Resistance too. That sounds like a Terminator movie.
It's like a Transformers.
Oh,
Sounds like
did you see the
something
coming
that
attractions one?
the kids in Hunter Shay's neighborhood are very familiar with.
We are children. Oh, Jack, you scoundrel.
You rascal. And on a serious note, a moment of silence for actor Ray Stevenson, who passed away at the age of 58. You may remember him as the Punisher in Punisher Warzone. He was the villain in the recent RRR. He's in the Thor movies. He's in Three Musketeers, The Irishman, many movies. Book of Eli.
What did he die of?
I don't know.
So you're going to end on a death note, Casey.
I'm ending on a death note.
Oh my God.
It's ponderous. I know it's ponderous.
It's ponderous. Fucking ponderous.
I like to think it as half-mast Ray Stevenson.
Well,
File Code and Theos Slayer.
if anyone knows half-mast, it's Jack Campisi. So that brings us to your favorite part of this show.
That was very nice.
It's time for curation.
Troopy.
We have such sights to show you.
All right, I think we should get Ashface Chad to go first while we know everything's working and while he's sucking on his vape.
Yeah. Okay. Same thing. Showtime, 8/24. Trying to knock some of those out. And so I watched a movie called A Ghost Story from 2017, starring Casey Affleck. Which is Ben Affleck's younger, wiser brother, because he consistently chooses better roles, I think.
Did he get in trouble for like?
He's
something-
got a darkness stuff that he's done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think
Yeah.
Ben Affleck gets a bad rap, man. That guy's been in some epic movies. I think.
Reindeer Game?
What was the like Reindeer Games? What's the astronaut movie? Armageddon. Like,
Dude,
he gets
watch
a
the
lot
town.
of deserved shit for that one.
The
Yeah.
town is awesome, and I was just watching Smokin' Aces the other day, and in that movie, you think he's going to be like the star of it, and then Chris Pine drives by and like blows him away. Pine.
Geely. I mean, that's a legendary movie.
Jersey Girl.
Yeah, okay, he's been in some real turds too.
Daredevil.
Forces of Nature with Sandra Bullock.
Daredevil. Oh my fucking.
Daredevil. Oh God, Daredevil.
I
Worst
forgot
of all.
about Daredevil. All right, I retract it. Never mind.
Sorry, Chad.
Martha, why did you say that?
You guys done or with your
Hopefully.
Ben Affleck stroking?
Yeah.
Okay, so Casey and I don't know her name. Middle-aged couple living in a small house, which they appear to be moving out of soon. They start experiencing some pretty subtle paranormal happenings. Then one day the husband is killed in a car accident right in front of the house. That's at the beginning of the movie. Yes, it's a spoiler, but I'm gonna try not to spoil anything else in the movie. But from that point on, he's a ghost. But he's wearing a sheet for the rest of the movie. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to give too much away, so I'm not going to say much more than that. Other than I really, really like this movie a lot. I highly recommend it, and I think you should watch it now. It's like an artistic indie version of Ghost with Demi Moore, but also nothing like that at all. It feels like, honestly, it feels like something I would have written. Because it's really sad. It's really sad, and it's just kind of different, like a different take. The whole guy in the sheet thing seemed strange at first. and maybe even kind of silly. But as the movie goes on, I found myself feeling really bad for this ghost. Almost like he had his own personality, despite just standing around and staring at stuff. No, not saying anything or anything. No facial expressions. And this movie I think will have you looking at ghosts in a completely different way too. I mean, it did for me anyway. Especially like why they might be around. I mean, I don't personally believe in ghosts, but if you do, this might, I wish I did. This might make you think differently, because there's some scenes in there that I'm like, oh, I wonder, that's kind of cool. If a ghost was doing that for that reason, that's kind of neat.
It is a different look on being stuck in an afterlife.
Yeah. There are several scenes where the camera lingers for way too long, and this may alienate some people and they might want to turn it off. But for me, I thought it was effective because it makes you feel kind of uncomfortable and even vulnerable, because you're left with your own thoughts and forced to think much deeper about the scene that you're watching than you would otherwise. It's
Just
definitely
to be scared. It's not that kind of movie.
It's not scary, but it does have tense moments, and it's sad. But this is definitely one of my favorite movies I've seen this year. I'm glad I saw it.
Have you guys ever thought about your departed loved ones in the afterlife being able to see you during some of your more shady moments, like your browser history might reflect, or
during my times of shame,
times of shame? That I would think most people think of like, oh God, if my relatives are looking down on me now, this is horrible.
What if we're living our lives and they're masturbating all around us?
It could be.
Maybe it's the other way around.
They're the ones who are.
Yeah. The only time I really thought about something like that was I live in my grandmother's old house, and after the year 2000, the big New Year's Eve,
year 2000
in the future.
God, I've had that up for a while. Oops.
I was at a party. We were drinking these things called 007s, which was basically orange mandarin vodka, orange juice, and 7-Up, along with all the other beers and other crap we were drinking. But somebody had a bottle, and we just drilled a million of those. And I came home, and the first thing I did in the new millennium was throw up for an hour. And that's what I thought to myself. I wonder, my aunt, my grandmother lived in this house. If they could see me right now, this is pretty friggin' pathetic. Yeah, you schmuck.
Oh, look, he even sharted. Way to go, Jackie.
Yeah.
Way to go.
He took a break from puking to turn around and sit for a minute.
Shit in my favorite bed.
Yeah, I like to think that because they're unencumbered by the rules that we set for living people, they are just doing crazy shit all around us, hopefully.
My family's a bunch of lunatics. I haven't done anything they haven't done 10 times worse. So they'd be looking down on me like, that's it?
Yeah, really.
Has the clicker on your computer ever just kind of gone to something really, really decadent on its own? That could be your uncle.
No more gaping videos, Grandpa.
I have a Ouija mouse.
All right, Jack, I'm going to move to you. 30 Days of Nightman.
Well, my 2023 movie list. Oh, I offended.
Jason doesn't want to hear it.
He would hate this anyway. I watched Scream 6.
Wow.
The latest Scream movie.
Did you see it in the movies?
No, it's on streaming.
Oh, it's on streaming.
I had to come back. You said Scream 6.
That's smart.
So number one, if you're going to watch this, you probably need to watch Scream 5, which was just Scream, because it's the characters from, there's a core 4 from the first, from that one that carry over, and stuff that is, look, all these Scream movies reference the other ones anyway. So this one is also referencing all the other Scream movies. So you probably should watch that first. This one takes place in New York, and Nev Campbell is not in it, but Courtney Cox is.
Oh.
And really didn't need to be. Now, I saw the first two Scream movies, and I didn't see the other ones. And at one point, this blonde girl turns around, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, that's Hayden
Yeah, it
Panettiere."
is.
So she's back, but I didn't know her character.
What is going
Well,
on
that's
with
good.
And it
IMDb?
took me
Yeah.
a second to recognize her because she's a little bit older than the last time I saw her. She doesn't look older. There she is.
Oh, she's so pretty.
It's like Daniel Harris.
I don't
Yeah,
know. That
you're
looks
right.
like a wig. That looks like a wig to me. Anyway, this is just like all the other Scream movies to me, maybe except the first one. It's pretty good for like the first couple of acts, but it's got all that Scream baggage to it that they're referring to other stuff and hey, here's the rules, and that some of that's witty and interesting, and some of it you're like, okay, we get it. And then the third act happens, and there's reveals, and there's killers explaining everything to you and all that stuff. That I guess there are people out there that welcome the formula and are like, oh, who is it going to be this time, and what's
Yeah,
their
it's comforting.
scheme? It's very Scooby-Doo like. For me, I'm like, there's always some really good vicious kills in a Scream movie, and there's some really witty things, but then I just get tired of it, and I kind of forget about it 5 minutes after it's over. So it's not like, again, it's not the worst movie you're ever going to see, and if you like Scream, it's more of probably what you like. Jenna Ortega's great, but
Yeah.
you
Hey.
know,
Good for you to even watch it.
it's
I'm
not
impressed.
going to be. Let's put it this way. It's not cracking the top 5, or at this point I can't say not top 10, but because this
I
year
hope you can.
sucks.
Have hope for the future of this year.
Yeah. So
Scream
anyway,
6 streaming everywhere, right?
yeah.
All right, there, Josh Hotnet.
I
Hotnet.
I finished a book by Joe Lansdale, my first one. I read
at you.
Lost Echoes. I actually had this somehow. I must have bought it and not remembered it. It's the story of a boy who suffers an injury when he's young, and anytime he goes into, God, if he went up into your attic, for instance, if a sound repeated that happened when a horrible crime or murder or beating or rape had happened, it plays out in his mind.
Sure.
And
That's all happened up here.
yeah, so going up into your attic would be the worst thing this dude could do.
I've heard
Yeah.
that in his attic.
So he struggles through life, and the story picks up when he's in college and trying to make his way through and dealing with old asshole friends and trying to get his life in order and using alcohol to try to numb the echoes. Really cool story. I like Lansdale's writing a lot. There's a character in this book I really didn't like, and he was in it a lot, so it was like every time he says like fuck. But otherwise I liked it enough. So I read some of his short stories, and short stories to me aren't a great indication of someone's writing, because I think people take a lot of chances in short stories that maybe that's not how they typically write. And that, again, I've only read one of his books, but I'm thinking that might play out. So I liked it enough that I'm going to read another one probably while I'm in Germany. So I'm
Do you have any idea what you might read?
no idea. I should probably make sure I haven't bought other books of his already.
Yeah.
But
Read
any
the
recommendations?
Yeah,
Bombs.
either The Thicket or maybe Paradise Sky if you're up for westerns, but it's a Lansdale western, which means it's gritty and it's hilarious at times.
Chad, I'm going to make you jealous. Do you have this one, Zeppelin's West?
I do. I have it in paperback.
So this is a hardcover that I got from him, and it's signed by Joe. But it's
Nice.
got illustrations in it too. This is like a weird. It's the definition of a weird western. Like anything can show up, including robots battling with Mark Twain. Like when he goes off the rails like that, I love it.
All right. What was the other one? The Thicket, you said? I'll try to
Yeah,
remember
The
that.
Thicket, which is good. That they're making that movie with Juliette Lewis and Peter Dinklage.
I say the
Oh,
bottoms.
okay.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, the bottoms. Unless you want to go like full splatter and read The Drive-In, where it's just wacky.
The drive-in's
Gore.
awesome.
No, fun.
Can't go wrong. All right. I am going to move on to. It's funny. I was looking for like a B movie drive-in thing, and then when I was sick, I'm just tooling around, and I find on Tubi, and Chad, you brought this up. recently, Burial Ground.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, oh, let me turn this on. Chad mentioned it. And I realized as I'm watching it, I've seen this at the drive-in in the mid-'80s. So I'm like, oh, there we go. I'm killing two birds with one stone. If you're looking for a zombie movie that never lets up and it's just full on full of nonsense, I don't know if you can get any better than this. This is so bad it's good. Prime territory. It's some professor, whatever, has discovered something in this big rambling old hotel or whatever it is. It's Italian, so it's probably on the gates of hell, I'm sure. And then like four very horny couples come at his bidding.
Of course.
Within like, first of all, he's not there to greet them. Some weird butler is there. Within like 5 minutes, they're all naked and banging. Like, I'm like, Jesus Christ, calm down. The IMDb is in the shitter with Max tonight.
It's really struggling tonight.
Yeah. So anyway, Burial Ground, it starts with zombies in the first couple of minutes, and they never stop coming. They're, I forget what kind of zombies.
The actors or the zombies?
The zombies. And the actors at times, at least in the beginning. So you want nudity, you're going to get nudity. You want zombies and blood, you're going to get zombies and blood. If you want a little tiny boy with Dario Argento's giant head disturbing the shit out of you, you got that. Because go ahead, Chad.
I was gonna say like a 40-year-old man boy. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
So I looked that up. Now there's a scene. This young, he's supposed to be like 10, and at one point later in the movie, he has this incestuous moment with his mom grabbing her boobie, going for the bottom parts, making out with her. And they realize that they can't have an actual 10-year-old boy doing this. Smart. So they hire a man who's like almost 30, who has he's got the regular proportions of a little child. And his head, he looks like Dario Argento.
He does.
The dubbing is amazing. You will literally crap yourself from laughing every time he talks. Mother. It's so weird. It says he's talking with some weird voice coming out of a giant man head on top of a little boy body and lusting after his mommy. It's so Italian.
Weird.
So it's beyond.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. There's lots of gore. There's tons of blood.
Yes, that guy.
Yes.
He's supposed to be 10.
Oh.
Wow, he looks like that dude in Star Trek with the big head.
Oh my God, he is the most
What the
disturbing thing I've ever seen in a movie. But he was known. I think he was in an Argento movie too. He did a few.
Doesn't he start sucking on his mom's breast?
He does. After making out with her, after they have a close call.
What?
With
It's like where Game of Thrones got all their ideas.
It's nuts. It's totally nuts. I love this movie. Love it. I think I have to own it now. I watched it on TV. I want it now without commercial interruption. So, Burial Ground. If you're into zombies, there's 1,000 zombies in this movie. Slow walking. The makeup is so. Some of them, like the makeup, just stops at the top of the hand a little bit. They have regular hands. They were like, it's good enough.
It's like the later Planet of the Apes movies. If you look in the background, they hardly have anything on.
Just masks.
Exactly. Yeah, there's really fun zombie makeup masks in this movie too. So, highly recommended.
Yeah,
I need to watch this.
You do, dude. You're gonna have it on the show. All right, circling right back around to Mr. Chad Lutzke.
Okay. If this were on Tubi, I would have watched it. I've been wanting to rewatch this movie for years and years. It's called The Legacy from 1978. I saw it, I think, in 1978 on TV. So it's probably edited a little bit. Starring Catherine Ross and Sam Elliott.
Aren't they married?
No, they fell in love on this during this filming.
Are they divorced now? Or they got married, didn't they?
No, I think they're still married.
They are. That's what I said. Are they married?
I wouldn't let Sam Elliott go.
Catherine Roth was one of the big '70s crushes.
She was. Her,
Roger Daltrey is also in this. I'm surprised that more people aren't really talking about this. I don't know anybody who's seen this except for me when I was a kid, and there was a couple of scenes that I remembered that kind of scarred me. But basically, Catherine and Sam play an American couple who head to England for a job, something to do with architecture or something like that. I can't remember, but once they get there, they get into a minor accident on their motorcycle, and the driver of the other vehicle takes them to his place, which is a giant mansion where you have all of these people there, like some kind of Agatha Christie mystery collection of people who all work for the owner in some form. Then we find out the owner, like, they don't see him again. And then every time they say, well, so-and-so brought us here. And they're like, really? That's strange, because he's upstairs sick. So then we find this guy behind this curtain, and he's sick in here. He's hooked up to breathing machines and all this kind of crap. And so Catherine Ross and Sam Elliott and his mustache find themselves stranded.
Look at him.
Stranded here as people start dying in mysterious ways, and we can't figure out if this place is haunted, or that scene right there triggered me as a kid, and I think is what started my whole fear of drowning. I had a fear of drowning when I was a little boy.
Oh, wow.
And that certainly either spawned it or it didn't help. I remember that.
Also, your fear of mustaches.
And mustache rides.
So we can't figure out if this place is haunted or if this is a cult or what's going on. Like I said, I hadn't seen this since 78, 79. Been wanting to revisit for a long time. When I finally found it on YouTube in a decent, transfer of it, I was so excited about rewatching it, but because I'm the big nostalgic guy. Unfortunately, it didn't hold up as well as I was hoping. And I'm kind of surprised I sat through it as an 8-year-old because the pacing is slow. I mean, 1978. So
when we were kids, we had no choice.
It's
It's
creepy.
that or nothing, right?
I didn't do it. It's not as creepy as it could have been.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
So-
liar.
We
That
know
being
you
said,
did.
if you're around my age and you love to revisit,
It's falling
films
apart
from
at the Lutsky compound. David Lee Roth needs to make an appearance.
and you love to revisit films from the 70s with that hazy aesthetic, you'll probably have a good
Yes.
time with this. Or if you like British goth films, this will be for you. So,
Hmm.
and on YouTube,
And if you
Or
like
if you're a
Sam
big
Elliott,
Who
Legacy.
fan,
if you're
you
a
love
big
the Who.
fan. Who are
I'm
you?
surprised I've never heard of this. I love me some Sam Elliott.
Yeah. I'll watch
I,
this.
like I said, you just never hear about it.
Wade Garrett's getting old.
The dude
Some
bites.
sarsaparilla.
Why do you gotta use so many cuss words? Speaking of cuss words, what do you got, Brant?
Nothing.
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 Good for you to lay it all out on the line here in the last episode.
Hey man, I'm trying to keep the show,
We understand.
high end here by contributing as much as I can.
All right, Jack.
Well, the 2023 train continues with another movie that may just be the #1 movie of the year. Let's talk about it and find out. It's a little thing called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
You watched
saw it?
that?
Wow.
Spoiler alert, it is not the best movie of the year.
I don't
I
think
am
it was
shocked.
the best movie of the day when it came out.
So, this movie should have just been a trailer, like on Saturday Night Live on YouTube, because that's funny. A horror movie about Winnie the Pooh. He. Or when you're in college and you have a video camera, you make this and you watch it in the dorm and everybody
With your
laughs.
friends.
Yeah. So the premise of this is that Christopher Robin and the woodland creatures of the 1,000-acre woods or whatever it's called, 100-acre woods, they have their adventures from the book or whatever, and then Christopher Robin gets old enough to go to college and he leaves them, and this causes the animals, the Winnie the Pooh and gang, to like have a harsh winter where they can't find food and stuff, and so they have that kind of like they turn savage from the being abandoned by Christopher Robin. So then a few years later when he returns, like they hate humanity and Christopher Robin, and so they take out their revenge on him and then a bunch of like hot co-eds who happen to be like partying in the woods.
Of course.
Is there at least nudity?
Gore?
Implied.
There's
nudity.
a lot of gore. There's a lot of gore. I don't think there's nudity. There's a lot of girls in bikinis. It's like a typical like low budget horror movie. What they didn't capitalize on was the opportunities for humor, and that's what killed it. Was you got a dude in a Winnie the Pooh mask and another guy in like a boar mask who's supposed to be
Right.
Piglet.
They played it straight.
They
Yeah,
played
that's
it
what I'm saying.
pretty
Wow.
straight, and the Christopher Robin guy isn't in it as much as probably he should have been, because they're they kind of changed the focus to the co-eds, which you'd think would be a good thing, but
Right.
they didn't like reference. Not that I'm not familiar with the Winnie the Pooh story, but they weren't referencing stuff. I think the first thing I would do is like a Wikipedia of like what's all the Winnie the Pooh stuff, so I could make references to it throughout.
Like at one point, did he look at Pooh and go, "Silly old bear"?
No,
Did
they
he do
don't
that?
talk.
No, but Christopher Robin, he would say that to Pooh. He's silly old bear.
If he did, would only at the very beginning, but I don't think he did.
And they didn't
the,
kill off most of the characters, so you're not seeing like Eeyore and Tigger and stuff.
So Tigger's not in it because that's a Disney character, but some of the other characters are. And actually, the best part of the movie is the beginning when they tell the backstory. They do this animation thing, and that's like really well done. So you're watching, going, "Oh, okay, this is kind of cool."
Right.
But then they bobble again. I'm watching and just going, "Why didn't they just call me?
Call anybody.
Punch this up with a couple of jokes." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, lean into it.
For sure.
the marketing for it is leaning into the humor of the thing, and then
Yeah.
and the movie goes on for like over an hour and a half. You're like, really? Come on.
Yeah.
No, the whole concept is sounds humorous. I mean,
Well,
So
good idea, bad execution. Never seen that in horror. Ever.
Yeah. People trying to cash in on something very quickly.
and there's already
Never
a sequel
happens.
in the works for this.
Why? Nobody saw this. I know that for a
No, but
fact.
I bet it's better.
it hit like a 1-day theater thing, and it got overwhelming response, and they ended up extending it and adding more theaters. So this was like a hot ticket when it first came out because everybody was curious about it. So I also think Chad's right. That they do a second one, I bet you it will be better. But
They'll learn a lesson somehow.
17,000 ratings on IMDb. So this has been seen, which
Jesus.
blows my mind.
Rob Zombie must be losing his mind. When Lords of Salem came out in the theater, I think I saw a report 900 people saw it. Like it was under 1,000. Jesus. Well,
To put that in perspective, Bloody Hell, which we shouted from the rooftops, has
Yes.
8.7 thousand.
that's such a good movie.
And this has 17,000.
That should
This
have
has
a million.
double what Bloody Hell has. Wow.
And it's just crap. So
bloody hell.
It's crap.
Well, they're not coming on the show. All right. Thanks for the warning, Jack.
I welcome them on the show because I want to be like, dude, we got to make this funnier next time.
Yeah, let's punch it up. Give us the script.
I'll roll up
Speaking
your
of-
sleeves and help them.
Speaking of highbrow movies, which we're not speaking of, I saw this movie. I meant to talk about it like a month ago. Beyond Loch Ness, which is a TV movie, which I assume from seeing it is a sci-fi movie from, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. It's the story of this little town, and it's run by the sheriff, this woman, and her son. Well, he's not in the law enforcement, but he's there. And they have an uncle who's been searching for something that's in the lake. And there he is, Uncle Gus or Lenny or whatever the hell his name is. And there are like mysterious deaths and murders happening around the lake. And guess what it is? I don't know if we can call it a Loch Ness monster because this is not set in Loch Ness or Scotland. somewhere in
Really?
America. Yeah. So it's just
It's beyond that.
yeah, some lake monster. This is like first of all, I put this on. I think it was on Tubi or something. I was tired. I said, let me fall asleep to this. But then I stayed awake through the whole thing because it's very campy. The CGI is exactly what you expect, but there's a lot of the creature just like eating people from like the waist up, and it's a little bit of gore. There may be more than one of them. It's pure cryptid sci-fi nonsense. I'm not going to say it's going to tickle your funny bone. It's not particularly funny. It's funny it's funniest when it's trying to be serious. But unlike the Blood and Honey people, they know they have a stinking turd on their hands, and they're just trying to make it as enjoyable as possible. Jack, I thought of you. Who's the guy from Charmed who married Holly Marie Combs? What's Brian
The blonde
Krause?
guy?
Yes. So Brian Krause is in this. This is the reason to watch this. And this might put it to SBIG territory. He comes in with a kind of like cowboy hat and this big leather duster. And I just kept thinking of Mac and It's Always Sunny with his duster. And he's always smoking cigarillos. He is so absurdly stupid. It's beyond belief. I'm like, did you watch a daily? Did you consider what you were doing at all?
I know about this movie. I don't know if I've ever seen it, but I've definitely seen the trailer for it at least.
I mean, if you're incapacitated and have nothing else to do, it's fine.
It sounds like a Sci-Fi Channel movie.
I think it has to be. It had all the earmarks.
I just looked it up.
There we go. It had every earmark of a sci-fi movie. But seeing him in his duster and his special weapons designed for killing Loch Ness monsters, it's just priceless. That was worth the price of admission.
Does Sci-Fi still do their Saturday night originals, which were these kinds of movies? Is it still a thing?
I'll bet they don't.
That was the best, man.
They did that remake of Hunter. Didn't you
Slumber
just watch
Party
it?
Massacre?
Slumber Party Massacre.
Yeah,
that wasn't like the CG thing. I don't
No,
know. Shark Week is coming up, but there's a good chance that if we're going to see something, a shark movie in July, this is a good bet.
Yeah. And Slumber Party Massacre, don't watch it. If you're a fan of the original, you're going to get really pissed off. All right. Ashface, Nightman, you got anything left?
Just
That's all I got.
one quick mention. I have one quick mention. I don't want to talk about it really because you guys have already all talked about it, but I did want to let you know that I finally did see Bodies.
Good.
If it wasn't A24, I may have turned this off after about maybe a half hour. Like if I knew this was Blumhouse, man, I would have bailed.
Right.
But I trust A24, and man, did they prove me right. Part slasher, part Agatha Christie murder mystery. But the ending makes this whole thing. If it was 3 hours long with that ending, I'd still say it's worth sitting through that. Whatever you got to sit through. Really, really well written. I love how they handled overused terms like gaslighting and some of the other ones, and made it humorous without alienating. Without alienating any particular side. The humor in this is, in parts, is so dry that I can see people missing it. But definitely recommend it on Showtime. But yeah, man, I mean that end.
Yeah,
great.
I can't believe you said you trust A24 and you didn't mention trusting us, since we all said it was awesome.
I know. Hello.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
All right. Well, I'll be calling Tim while you're away, Jason. We'll see if I can
Let me know.
arrange that. All right. Let's get on to tonight's main feature. Run to the theater to see 30 Days of Night.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
What comes to mind is Mr. Jack Campese giving us a synopsis of 30 Days of Night in the voice of Bela Lugosi. Nobody gives two fucks for Bella.
I don't think Anthony in the chat is a fan of Blood and Honey, by the way.
No.
Sorry, Jack.
I'm Jack KPC, and I approved that message. This movie takes us to the furthest north of America, where the sun will set for 30 days of night. That's a great opportunity for vampires to attack people. The children of the night, if you will. What music they will make. So the people, they gotta hide for 30 days of night. Blah.
Zeppo Marks.
Wow, you really stepped up to that challenge.
Hey, man, it's improv. Let's do it.
He did. I couldn't say
Okay,
Christopher
it's
Lee.
Bela
because-
Lugosi in a CVS.
Just say yes. Just say yes.
Yes, and.
All right. I'm gonna go with Jason. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I should say you were not watching Joe Bob with us on Friday when we were agonizing for an hour over what the hell we should watch.
Yeah.
While I was sleeping.
We looked up so many movies. I mean, it was just back and forth, and I don't even know how we settled on this, but it was like, we were like, yeah, okay, fine.
I brought up a different vampire movie, and that led to this.
We were talking about like our top 3-4 vampire movies.
Yes. So this is one that I saw in the theaters when it came out. I really liked it, and I have not watched it since. And when did this come out? 2008 or 7 or something?
Seven, I think.
7.
It's been a long time. And watching it again, so the only thing I really remembered was it was very violent. I remembered people, in the attic. I remembered an axe kill in particular that was crazy. And all of that held up, and I still really liked it. I think this is a great vampire movie. Honestly, I'll get into all the stuff I like more, but I might as well say the one thing that kind of detracted from me a bit was when the action really ramps up when the vampires are attacking the town. It goes into that mid-2000s zoomed-in shaky cam. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, stop that. I want to see the carnage of this town. And it did that for a bit. And I was like, fuck, man, this era of filmmaking drives me crazy. But they didn't do it the whole movie, thankfully. A lot of it you really do get to see. A lot of it are long shots with people suffering horrific fates.
Yeah.
But other than that section in the middle, which should have been the best part of the movie, this is really, really good, and it blows my mind that we never saw a theatrical sequel to this. It feels like it could have.
Sequel.
I didn't watch that. That was a direct-to-video, right?
That was sci-fi.
Oh, that was sci-fi. Okay.
My wife has reminded me that we watched it, and I can't recall a single thing. So.
Oh, I remember it.
I also want to say this is the kind of idea that as soon as you hear it, vampires in a town in Alaska, that you're like, how has no one thought of this before?
Right.
It is such a simple, brilliant idea. And even when you watch the movie, I haven't read the comic, but it is as simple as the story gets. And it is just, it's great storytelling.
Yep. All right, Chad. Are you waiting for a prequel?
I'm gonna ditto a lot of what Jason said. Everything that he remembered about it, I remembered. I saw it around the same time. The axe part, the attic, the premise. I remember enjoying the movie quite a bit. I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed it better the first time. I think it's because it felt a little long this time around, but I still enjoyed it. I watched it with my wife. She didn't. By the time I thought she was enjoying it, and then when it was over, and she went, "Nah," I said, "You don't like it?" She goes, "No." So, yeah, a little long. It's almost 2 hours, right? It's like an hour and 53 minutes.
It's pretty long. Yeah.
Yeah, it felt a little long. The premise, like Jason said, is just genius. Why hasn't this been done before? I mean, this could even make a cool series.
Oh yeah, the whole month in detail,
definitely.
Across different families and groups together. Oh man, this would be great.
I would love to see what's his name, Flanagan do that like he did with the Midnight Mass. It would be like a sister
When they're trapped up in the attic, maybe they can answer the question I kept asking: where do they poop?
They went back downstairs. Remember, she said, you can't flush."
Oh, don't flush. That's right. There we go. Poop.
I was wondering how they didn't freeze to death in that attic.
Well, they knew the cold.
I know they kept saying propane when they were in the store looking for propane. I thought maybe it was for lighters, but maybe it was heaters too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
sexy time.
But yeah, good movie. Liked it better the first time. Still good. Love the ending, even though it was kind of like comic booky. But I mean, it's from a comic book, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So, yes, it's from a comic book.
It is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not from a comic book.
The ending was comic booky.
Yeah.
But he nailed it.
It's the ending. They had
nailed.
to do it. They had to do it. You have to have somebody be a vampire.
I'm sorry, it was too theatrical.
I love that ending
for a movie.
Too much action.
Too entertaining.
I thought, Chad, that's why I was like wondering. I'm like, I don't know what Chad's going to go on this because there's no character development in this whatsoever. Yeah. It's just mayhem,
there really isn't.
I'm glad you liked it.
All right, one guy is a dick at the beginning. He has 5 minutes of screen time, and then he's nice at the end. That's the character development.
Jack, you're our resident mangled vampire dick expert. So what did you think?
I had read the comic book before I saw this movie.
Open up the comics so they can see the illustrations because I'm going to bring
very stylized.
Oh wow!
Artwork in this thing.
Did that come out in the 90s or the 2000s?
I think this is like 2001.
It has that look.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that Arkham Asylum. You ever read the Batman Arkham Asylum comic book that's got kind of stylized like that? So that takes you a little time to adjust when you read this because some of the images are kind of hard to tell what's going on. And
there were parts of that I was like, "What? I can't see anything."
So I liked this movie the first time I saw it, but I was like most times when you read something, your first reaction is, what did they change?
Yeah.
And they're pretty loyal to the book, but they change a lot of stuff too. And so it's not that I love this so much, but I was adjusting to that was different because they strip out a lot of characters and subplots and things like that. But I liked it. But I have seen this movie a number of times since then. It was on cable a bunch of times. Then I took a long break and I watched it again a couple of years ago. And every time I watch this movie, I like it more. And I watched it again the other day, and I really like this movie a lot. It's in my top 10 probably vampire movies.
I think it is for me too.
Side note, Melissa George, total crush.
Yes. Not a shock.
I mean,
it's funny. My wife watches this movie a lot, and when Melissa George shows up, she goes, "Jack likes her, right?" And I'm like, "Yes."
There's nobody that's ever looked better in a winter coat than Melissa George in this movie.
Is a heartbeat. Of course, Jack likes her.
She's in
a vampire movie.
She had a very form-fitting winter coat. It didn't seem like that was made for that kind of Alaskan winter. Like, you should have a big puffy coat, not this thing that hugs your curves.
It's a brilliant premise for a vampire movie. It has the kind of vampires I like in movies. They're bad guys, and they're vicious. In the book, the vampires talk. So they don't have the special language what they do. But some of the stuff that they say with the subtitles is the same as in the book.
You mean they speak English?
They speak English.
Oh, okay.
But there's like another boss vampire besides Marlowe drinking word.
Yeah. Boss hog.
So I'll save the rest for the conversation. I love this movie. So.
All right. I saw this movie when it came out in the theater. Now, this is a prime example of wrong place and time. For whatever reason was going on in my life, I walked out of that movie and I hate that movie. That movie sucked.
What? Really?
It's again, whatever my mind was at that time.
You watched it with your wife?
We went to the movies together. She loved it, by the way. So she loved it.
Or he found out everybody loved it.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Then, like a few years later, I read the comic, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not a fan of the art in that comic, but I like the whole idea, and I was able to really get into it." Then I found out it's my father's favorite vampire movie of all time. He's watching it all the time. So, um, when he passed away, we got his collection of movies. So my wife, she puts this in. She's watched it like at least 100 times. So I see bits all the time, and I'm like, that and the friggin' Devil's Pass movie. If I see either of them again, but anyway, every time I see the bots, I'm like, wow, this is really good. These vampires are terrifying. So sitting down this time for the first time since I saw it in the theater, man, I love this movie. This movie is crazy. The concept is awesome. Some of the shots I think are great. That in the very beginning, when you see that the guy standing on the ice floe with the ship in the background, I'm like, that's
awesome,
beautiful scene. But yeah, I love the vampire. I hate the sparkle vampires. I don't want romance in my vampires.
This was the year before Twilight came out.
This is like 28 days later with vampires. It's just nuts and it's brutal. Some of the overhead shots, you're just watching carnage go.
Oh yeah, some of the overhead shots are amazing.
Just so good. I appreciate no character development. Sometimes I don't give a crap about you. I know you're just fodder, and I know you know exactly who's the final guy and final girl. Who cares about that? Just enjoy the ride. And it's a.
Have you ever read a Hunter Shea book?
Hey, dude, that's why I like it now. So yeah, I've totally changed my opinion. I had changed it over the years, just seeing this and that, but watching it straight through, this would be in my top 10 of vampire movies, hands down.
And one of the things that elevates this movie is the stranger at the beginning of the movie, the familiar who comes to town ahead of the vampires, which is same in the book. He's a huge guy. What's his name? The guy who plays him is so damn perfect in this movie. He's scummy,
crazy,
scary, creepy, and that scene in the diner and then in the jail cell, like every moment he is on screen, he owns it.
He does.
When he stabs, he holds the husband up to the wall and stabs him with the fire poker, and his wife is screaming in the background, and then the female vampire is then biting the wife in the background while we just have a shot of the head guy. She's just screaming in the background for a long time while we look at this dude. It's like, holy shit, this is intense.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of great kills in this. A lot. And it's a long movie, but to me, it went really quick. I
it
felt
needs
that way.
to be. I think the length is appropriate because I think you need to have that space in the middle where they're hiding. You have to feel that length a little bit. If they go through it too fast, you don't feel the 30 days. I feel like you have to have some time.
Yeah.
Pass.
Plus, it had that guy. I love that actor. Let me look his name. Mark
The dude-
Boone Jr.
The guy from Dark Knight,
The burly big guy.
Batman Begins.
Oh man, I love him in everything. He's awesome.
He's in John Carpenter's Vampires too. He's
Yes, he is. That's right.
notable vampire movies.
Yeah. So seeing him made me happy.
He's awesome in this movie.
I forgot about that scene with his special truck, whatever the hell that thing was.
Yeah, that scene's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's the guy I'm talking about that was a dickhead at the beginning.
No, I'm talking about the guy
yeah.
who worked for the vampires.
So yeah, no, Jason was talking about Mark, this guy, Bo.
Yeah.
That was the character arc. Bo was a schmuck outsider.
Who's the guy who played the scummy guy who they put in jail?
Ben Foster.
Ben Foster. He's awesome in this movie.
He's awesome in everything, man. He's so underrated. He always plays a weirdo. Like, you need a weirdo, get Ben Foster. He's going to give you like a meth head performance.
There's nothing grosser than his mouth in this movie.
His mouth is bad.
Yeah.
He's asking for raw meat.
Yeah.
Why won't you give me what I asked for? Oh, so it's good. All four of us agree. I thought it would be 3-1. I knew Jack liked this movie. I figured
it's such a good premise. It would be very difficult to screw this up.
Well, if you watch the sequel,
so they filmed some of this. They filmed this in New Zealand, I believe, and they had an outdoor set, and then they had one inside like a big whatever silo kind of thing,
Like a hangar.
Yeah, a hangar. And I think they did a good job. I mean, sometimes you can tell that they're not in real snow, but I think they did a really good job of creating the winter setting. And there was a few scenes where like the snow is blowing and stuff, and I'm like, this feels like the storm from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
There was a couple blizzard shots with the CG snow that did not hold up.
Dude,
a couple rough
what
ones.
about that scene when they decide to go leave the attic, the poo smelling attic, and then they're going through the blizzard and they're in slow motion? I was like, that's a hack shot right there.
My favorite shot is the overhead one that looks almost like a old video game, and people are there's battle going on in the street, and it's just like, that was really cool.
That's my
great
favorite
shot.
part of the movie.
Then there is the absolutely heartbreaking father with dementia and the son just desperately running out after him, and the whole trying to keep him quiet.
Yeah,
that was a good call. That's good. Yeah, that was to have that character in there was cool.
I thought they did
see you, Dad.
Also, let's just 25-year-old movie or whatever the hell it is now.
I thought they did a good job at the beginning. They didn't spend long, but they set up getting rid of all forms of communication or escape of destroying them. They didn't dwell on it for, if it was a series, that'd be your first episode. But in this, it was like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. And then you see there's no way to communicate. There's no way to get out. And I thought that was well done. Just enough so you understand.
If they did a series, that actually would be a great thing to show him sneaking into people's houses and stealing their cell phones. And I mean, they're probably better not showing it, because that's the part of it's easier for me to believe a bunch of vampires attack a town than a guy being able to steal everybody's cell phone.
So back then, everyone didn't have it in their pocket at all times because we didn't hit smartphones yet. So
they were too big.
You would leave it. Nowadays, he'd have to gas or kill everybody.
That's true.
Honestly, nowadays I would change it to he takes out the cell tower or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pit, the little pit that he burned the phones in, that felt very The Thing to me.
Yeah.
Like when I saw that, I'm like, I can almost imagine parts of some person in that little burned out shark pit.
The other thing,
go ahead, Jack.
I wanted to talk about the two leads because I really like Josh Hartnett in this. He had actually
Hartnett.
Thank you.
From what I remember, he had kind of left mainstream stuff and was doing smaller independent stuff, and they talked him back into this. And in the book, this is part of what you had to adjust to. In the book, the two love each other. So they don't have the marital tension.
Okay.
So in the movie, to your Chad, you weren't crazy about the ending. I really like that ending.
I thought the ending was great.
I thought you called it like comic.
He
book.
said
it was comic booky, but I said, it's a comic book, right?
Okay. You're talking about the fight scene, right?
No, I'm talking about the sunset.
Okay.
I love that scene.
Yeah,
me too.
I think that's such a tremendous way to end it, and then the look on her face of anger. Which, I mean, it's too bad that the sequel was a piece of garbage, but it's
so unforgettable.
The comic book is nothing lives up because the comic book sequel isn't the same premise either.
Right.
It's like in New Orleans or something like that. So, but just that look on her face, like you're like, she's going to go after them. But that whole idea of they have this strained relationship, you can see their love throughout the thing, and then her holding him while he, burns away is just
is there
and that's exactly how the book ends.
Is there a comic book sequel?
Yeah,
it goes on. Yeah,
okay.
I only read the one.
If you were a vampire with superpowers, would you be worried about a 98-pound Melissa George coming to get you?
No.
Like, wait, are you the one who hid under a truck when shit was going down?
This has probably the best beheading, or I like it.
Great use
Lagging.
of CG and physical stuff,
Yeah.
physical makeup. That's it is intense to watch that last one.
I like it.
That's what you're talking about, right? With the friend.
Are you talking about the fight at the end or the there's
Yeah,
two
the
good
friend by
beheadings.
that machine that chops everything up. You talking
Yeah,
about
I was
that?
sorry. I was lagging out. Yeah, I'm talking about the attempt beheading / beheading that it was almost hard to watch. The
was
one where
brutal.
you just could get the guy's head off.
Because don't
Oh,
forget,
wait.
they also cut off a little girl's head in this movie.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wasn't that the 15-year-old brother who? Yeah, he's the brother. The
Yeah.
15-year-old is the one who cut the girl's head off. Then she needed to go. She could speak English.
Yes.
Was curious in the comic book if they ever are able to address this, just because of the story. I'm betting not, but some of the vampires looked very deformed, and I wondered if that was the longer you were a vampire, the less human you look.
I think so, because I think what they do, I don't know if that's the rule of the vampires, but I think anybody from the town who turned, basically just their mouth and their eyes.
Right. Yeah.
But the other vampires, they did some makeup and then they CG'd them a little bit to like bend their faces a little bit.
There
and
were
stuff.
4 or 5 that looked really fucked up, and then there
Yeah.
were others that looked more human, and I thought that's a cool little story piece you put in without ever actually addressing it.
And it
Yeah,
makes him
and-
creepier.
If you read the weird art of the comic, the look of these vampires is a pretty good translation of because they're all really wacky looking in the comic book.
Yeah. Did you like the nod to Dracula where they come over on a big old ship?
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought
and the
that was
Renfield
cool.
character.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
You didn't need
Ben
bugs.
Foster's awesome.
I also loved. Look, I'm a person that when I watched the Lost Boys for the first time and they did the holy water and the water pistols, I was
Yeah.
like, I've had that idea for years. When they did the UV light, I was just like, yes, somebody finally used a pot light on a vampire.
That was cool.
Boy, imagine doing that now. There'd be so many houses with those lights in them right now. Shit's legal.
Forget it.
That scene was perfect because they gave him one shot at one vampire, and as he's saying they're going to kill the generator, the light goes out. I was like, perfect. You get one chance. I thought that was really, really well done.
No, there's
Although
so much-
he ran out of the house without the light, I would have unplugged that son of a bitch and taken it with me for my next chance.
it might have been an encumbrance for him getting away, but it's terrifying. Like when they're running around with no cover whatsoever, no snow cover, nothing. Like, oh my god, I would just be dying inside. That was me.
Well, okay, that was another thing I hadn't thought of it, but anyone who's grown up in a lot of snow knows you don't just run through snow and not have everyone know exactly where you went. So people were escaping situations in this. I'm like, no, there's no escaping. Like, you are fucked.
I can see your footprints. By
You're
the
running
way.
through 2 feet of snow.
I want to know in the prequel, or no, not the prequel, the remake. Let's reimagine this. What do vampires do when it's snowing outside? Like, what do they do? Do they play like canasta in one of the houses? Like, what did they
They
do?
had a lot of downtime.
Tons. They like ate everybody almost immediately, and then had 29 more days to kill time.
Well, then they were like marching little girls up and down the street to lure the rest of them out. They were toying with the.
By the way, oh yeah, we already checked all these buildings once. We're not going to check them again, even though we're pretty sure there's still more people around.
Well, they knew they
Go
were
to
going to have
general
to go
store.
out for supplies and things like that. There's like, okay, do a quick sweep, and then we'll just sit outside. They're not going to get cold, so they just sit up on a roof and.
Don't go in the store that has supplies.
Yeah.
Let
Well,
us
they
stay
had
there
to
for like 10 days.
I always read it that the little girl that says "Want to play with me,"
Right.
that she was a town girl who got turned. I don't know. That
I
for
think
sure,
that too, which is
but
probably why she could talk.
that's why she could talk.
Yeah, that's how I took it. She didn't look messed up at all, so.
Just a little.
Yeah, going through the houses again, it's like you go back through a week later, that one toilet in the house they're hiding in is just overflowing with shit. They'd be like, oh, they're here.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, there's flies in Barrow, Alaska. You can hear them buzzing around that mound.
Am I the only one who was bothered by the shaky cam filmmaking in the middle?
Yeah, I didn't even think about it.
Oh,
I'm
God,
not a
I
fan of
hated
shaky
it.
cam stuff. It hides sins. I think it's laziness, but
Yeah, it's
I
supposed
didn't
to
mind it
add
so much.
intensity, and it just doesn't.
But I didn't
think
really
what-
even notice it. So like when you're saying it, I'm like, oh, that didn't even occur to me.
Yeah, they do a great shot, like the overhead shot. They do that, and then there'd be 6 or 7 shots of like zoomed in shaky cam with vampires jumping on people. I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
But it's just this product at the time, the fucking Born Identity, put film back 10 years. So
I love the fight at the end when there's all the fire around.
Yes.
That on an HD TV looks awesome.
yeah,
And I don't know
cool
what they're
editing.
doing, but like I don't know if they did something with the frame rate. But the fire in the background looks awesome.
So
I thought it looked good.
Jack, you're our vampire guy. What did you think of Danny Houston as Marlowe in terms of like
I thought
vampire
he was-
bad guys?
I thought he was awesome. I thought he was really menacing. He felt like an alpha, so that when they did a lot of things right, he is just relentless and merciless, and felt like an alpha. Josh Hartnett beats him, but then they did a wise thing in the book. Like I hate to be in the book guy, but I just read it and I noticed I'm noticing things that the movie did better than the book. In the book, the other vampires they killed the alpha, so they take off, and the sun's going to come up in another day or two.
Right.
This you could see the sun starting to rise in the background right as he beats it. So they're like, all right, we're not even going to take time to kill you.
Yeah.
They leave. That was smart. But he was believable as somebody that like, oh, if you could take that guy out, I'm not going to mess with you. And
That was the only.
Good.
Go ahead. I was just going to say that's the only part that it really kind of bothered me, and you guys could just construe it as me being picky, but or snobby or whatever. But just the fact that this guy, this partially turned vampire, is going to go. Who knows how many decades or centuries this guy has been dodging death. He's no dummy, and he can throw down, and then Hartnett's going to go out there and just beat him up. I was like, that would never happen.
I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing.
I took it. Good.
I was gonna say this is where you got it wrong. He has police training behind him.
He does.
There you go. He knows how to
You
take
see how fast those
burp down.
vampires
Come on.
were fast. When someone was going to die, the vampires were really fast. If they didn't want someone to die, the vampires weren't very fast.
So again, these vampires had a history of toying with people. And so I think there was a little bit of that. I think he was underestimating him. And I think Josh Hartnett was getting his sea legs. And with his training and things like that, I took it as he got a one shot and he took it and he got it.
You got a lucky punch.
And it's a movie. So
He swept the leg.
Yeah.
he swept the leg.
Yeah.
But you know what, Jack? You bring up a good point. I think it's better that they did that where the sun's just coming up. The alpha male dog thing, I don't buy that so much. You do that to wolves, the next one will come up. Oh, my turn.
Especially when you've got all of these vampires with this insatiable thirst that they can't, get away from.
Yeah.
Which is why they're doing what they're doing in the first place. That and just being evil.
It was much better that they didn't have time to fight anymore anyway. They had to bounce.
Yeah.
I just wonder, where did they bounce to? It's in the middle of nowhere. Once you get out of that town, snow.
And
I
they
assume
killed the guy who probably was driving the boat.
Yeah, that boat.
Yeah,
is
that's
done.
true too. I assumed they were going back to the boat, but I don't know.
I felt like they owned that boat. Like that was their boat.
Yeah, I think they're going back to the boat, but then are they going
pretty
to
menacing.
boat?
do they have to wait 30 days for the sun to come back down before they can drive the boat? Or maybe they have like sunglass, like a shaded pilot house.
Maybe they
for
live
the
in big
boat.
old timey diver suits
Yeah.
with the little faceplate that you unscrew.
Or there could be another familiar slave on the boat though, like he was the guy who waits in the car.
Could be a whole bunch. This is why we need more. We need to explore this. I'm going to dedicate my life to writing 30 Days a Night fan fiction. It's official. I'm done with all the crap I do.
I think you guys are right, man. A series of this would be killer.
10 episode limited series.
Killer. Be so good. They were skipping 7-day chunks of this at a time.
Yeah.
Which I think is one of the things that bugged me when I saw the movie. I was like, wow, it just did a really long jump. And I think you're right. A series, you'd get to have some of those claustrophobic moments. And
they didn't look worse for wear. Like,
Yeah.
they looked just as grubby on day 7 as they looked on day 1. So I was like, oh.
How'd you guys like the whole thing with the guy who killed his family?
Oh, he misted them.
Yeah.
There wasn't much of a payoff for that. We didn't see the family. We didn't see him after shit went sideways. They just went in and it was done. And it was like, okay, that's horrible because he shot his family, but it was like, we never saw them. So it didn't maybe have the punch as a series would have given it.
He talked about them, but yeah, we didn't see them.
I think it was more to watch Josh Hartnett's reaction to it.
Yeah. To show he's a really good guy. You don't kill your daughter, dummy. You just beat them a while. Kill them. Come on.
Yeah.
And there was a weird
somebody out
turn for
there-
that character.
It was.
Somebody out there, put down the Cinderella thing, put down the Winnie Pooh pen, write the series to the 10 episode limited series for this. For
I also
HBO Max.
Max.
Yeah,
Just
Max.
Max. I also really, again, vampire. I watched a million vampire movies. I loved the idea of injecting yourself with vampire blood, and they did a good job of establishing you hang on to your humanity for a little while. So they showed that in the other guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that
they set up a rule.
They set up their rules and they followed them. And I thought that was great. And that whole "I can smell your blood" is just a cool moment.
Look, my name on this is No God. My father would go around all the time, No God. I'm like, what's the matter with you, dude? Calm down. It's a silly movie.
That was a tense scene. No,
I wonder if he used to say that when he went to church. All right. We did it. I don't think we have anything left to talk about this movie.
I think it's good.
All right. We're good. So if you weren't here in the beginning, at the end, I'm telling you, this is spring break. Or if you saw the Mutilator with Joe Bob, you get ball break. So we will be back July 11th. And by the way, we don't know what the main features are going to be on July 11th.
No, we definitely don't.
So
you
don't
guys
ask.
have 5 weeks to watch movies and pick one.
Bank them
for me to watch when I get back. Perfect.
The best thing would be like us scrambling to find, what 2 movies should we put on?
Yeah.
We're going to have so many to choose from by then.
We're going to stock up.
Yeah, I'm going to be texting you guys 2 hours before this. You got to put your movies on the goddamn spreadsheet.
Oh,
I can't
there'll be
tell you
nothing
what.
on that spreadsheet. We will have forgotten by then. But yeah, we're taking our first break. So 6-year anniversary, 5-week break, but we'll be back better than ever. We're going to hear tales of Jason with making a movie. It's going to be
And I will hopefully have time to actually watch movies again. I'm very excited for that.
This will be awesome. So
I'm very excited.
So yeah, I'm going to leave you with a final thought. It's a little something called knock knock joke. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Go fuck yourself. Good night, everybody.
See ya.
Perfect.